All right, kids, back with another episode of the Idiot's Approach. Today we're gonna cover some videos that I did a while back on a bench that I ended up calling the shark tooth bench. Purely coincidental, but it worked out great. Just something simple I was gonna make. We were remodeling the kids' bedrooms, and I was like, you know what? He needs a little bench here by the door, and started out with just going to make a bench. And then I got an idea like I should have built something underneath it for shoe storage because you got a lot of them. And you'll see in the video what I came up with. The weird thing is that the pattern I ended up creating was kind of a zigzag pattern underneath it for the shoes. And until my mom pointed it out, I didn't realize it looks like shark's teeth. And the cool thing is, it went into a bedroom, it was all shark themed. So it worked out perfect. And the wood that's on it, mostly just stuff laying around, some really rough old walnut that I had from slabs. And, had to do a little milling, but nothing crazy. So it turned out pretty good, way better than I would have expected. But still holding up pretty well. So here it is. And I'm going to work on a bench today. So again, like every other project, I like to have very little understanding of what's going on and only a tiny little rough idea of what this is going to look like. So what we have is a 15-inch, approximately 15-inch wide piece of oak. And then I've got some really rough old walnut left that I'm going to use to try and trim this out. So we got to plane this walnut down. I think this oak is going to do okay without planing. Just need to sand it really good. So we get it to a similar thickness, get some of the roughness out of this walnut, and then rip it down to width. Then we'll cut this oak down. So we'll get some measurements drawn and do some planing here. Let's get to it. So we got the walnut planed down. We have to do some sanding, but turned out pretty good. And there's some bad spots in here, but that's all right. We're gonna rip it down, not using the whole width of it anyway. So now we gotta rip this big oak board down to width. I want it to be about 13 inches, and we're at 15. So we're gonna run it through the table saw here. Now, this edge is pretty straight. So we're going to use that against our fence there. I'm not worried about this being perfect, but we want to make sure we got a relatively square edge before we start cutting this down. So we got the pieces glued up. This is the top. Took the hand plane down along these edges. Kind of clean up differences here. We're relatively flat. There's the leg pieces over here. So we gotta sand these down, get them good and clean, then we'll cut some angles, try to put them all together. Don't let anybody tell you sanding isn't fun. So I had an idea for making a feature for shoe storage underneath this bench. And in the spirit of keeping things overcomplicated, creating more work for myself, I decided I'd like to make this cool little zigzag pattern. First, my idea was build some boxes, turn them on their edges, and put them in at an angle like a diamond shape underneath there. It's a lot of extra work and materials. And in some crazy miracle stroke of luck, I actually used some pieces of old material that I kept. So I've got these chunks of old stair tread I've kept for over a year now. So I ripped them down, put 45s on each end, cut the bull nose off the end, and I'm just leaning them against each other. Now I'll glue these together, and this is going to rest on this board, which will be running between the legs of the bench along the bottom. So this is the bottom. The board's going to run this way, and we'll have the zigzag pattern setting on top of that. So let's get the glue in these together. Got the rough shape of the bench together. I have to do some finer sanding on that, but it's together anyway. And then we got at least part of our kind of sawtooth pattern holders here. Start gluing them together again, this time again in pairs. And then I'm going to run these through the table saw with a dado blade to cut a hole, or a channel rather, wide enough to rest on top of this board, which will fit in here on the bottom of the bench. So let's do some more gluing. So we got everything glued together. It went together okay. Screwed up a few things. Broke this while clamping it down, but the line's not all that visible, so we're gonna get some linseed oil on it. Got it cleaned up, swept it down with the shop vac, and we'll put a coat on it here.